Okay.
All right, we are live. I'm just checking you guys. As you come in, please let us know where you're coming from. For some
Hello,
reason,
everyone.
I don't see us live yet. Sometimes, oh,
Uh,
there we go.
okay.
Okay, there we go. I don't see us. Delay.
Everyone that's viewing in, can you please let us know where you are viewing from today? Are you in East Coast, West Coast? Where are you coming in from?
And also, if y'all join this later on, if you're catching this live on a replay, let us know where you're coming in your chat box or leave a comment so we can also a lot of times this help us on times where y'all located in zones so we can time even when we go live to bring y'all the information so we can be more beneficial on that time.
Yes.
And tonight, we're going to talk about the secrets of increasing your credit score and your income. So, we're going to do this in combination. And I think you guys are going to really enjoy this tonight. And Diamond, do you have anything that you want to just add in?
I just wanted to say this would be the first time we're going live on my channel as well. So if anyone is here from my channel, I just wanted to welcome in the Moneymakers and say hello, everyone. If you don't know, this is my mom, Sherry Beckley. She talks about credit. I talk about money making, ways to make money online, how to make passive income, things of that nature. So I just wanted to introduce myself to anyone that is new here and to introduce you to anyone that is new here. And again, my name is Diamond Chanel, and this is Sherry Beckley.
So I want to welcome all the money makers that's joining us tonight. Thank you guys. And hopefully you'll continue to join on because we have an announcement. If all the money makers are not familiar, in actual January, we always start our credit kickoff. So we want to keep this momentum going. And we've been brainstorming what would benefit both channels because one channel talks about making income, which is Diamond exclusively, and mine's is talking about credit. But when we examine in both parts, you need both parts to be successful in business and just in life, especially if you located in the United States. And when I'm looking at a lot of things that we look at when it comes to credit, most people don't plan on messing up their credit. Either it's a lack of education on how the credit system work, or it's a lack of income. So this is why Diamond, her information and we're bringing together is so important because I can't continue to help you with your credit score if you don't have enough income to pay your bills. So we came up with something that she shared with me a long time ago. And we touched on that story last week about, I would say, some people would shame me because I have family to help me, and Diamond came up with something. She was like, what is the problem? What is this getting it out the mud mentality?
Mm-hmm.
Rich people become wealthy because they don't believe that their kids should get it out the mud. And we need to, as a community, stop this mindset of this independence and you need to get it out of the mud. Why do you need to get it out of the mud? And then some of the older generations, they believe I get this and I enjoy this and you get it when I die. What? That is not how wealthy people do it. Their kids are enjoying and they're building at the same time. Why do we got to wait till we die? So we want to do this hashtag get it out the mud challenge.
No
Diamond,
more getting it out the mud
no
challenge.
more getting it out the mud challenge.
Yeah.
Diamond, you want to expand on that concept?
Yeah. So we just our family structure has been heavy into just collaborating with one another. How are we going to work together and looking within ourselves to say, let's get something together. And my mom specifically is very much about networking and being fully transparent. Like any of our peers, anybody that is in our own industry, We'll never gatekeep. That's not who we are. We are super generous when it comes to information. And so we're always constantly sharing and looking to collab with other people and looking to see if you have this, looking at our different strengths and weaknesses and say, hey, you got this, I got that. Let's put it together. Like, for an example, even on a just on a personal level, my mom is more like, she is going to like fight and she's like a winner. You know what I mean? And I always tell my mom, I ain't got that type of fight in me, but sometimes my patience, so we put it together and
Mhm.
we find different ways to, iron really sharpens iron. And so we want to encourage everybody here to collaborate with the people that are around you and to figure out what resources do you have tangibly, intangibly, that we can make it work together. So the first thing that you do in business, you look at a SWOT analysis. What are our strengths and weaknesses? And so we want to look at that in each other and strengthen one another where we are weak. Or where we are lacking. So that is something that as a family we have always done, and we want to really spread that to you guys. That's how we started that's how we started the channels together. This is how we grew on social media, just constantly talking to one another about different tips, collaborating with one another, and we want y'all to do the same thing.
And this is how our family structure pretty much is. And this is, and it's, I totally understand that everybody don't have that, but you can cultivate it. So Diamond knows a lot about, things online, because me being a single mother, not getting child support, not trying to find different ways to make money to fill in that. She was thrust in to help me with every scatterbrain idea that I had. So I had, unbeknownst to me, with her, train my help throughout the years. And so if you don't have people in your family to work with and you're a parent, you need to train your kids. We see a lot of people in the Asian community. You go to the restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, their kids right there. They're studying, but they're building a family business together. So it doesn't mean your kids got to be adults. A lot of these kids know way more about technology. Diamond to tell you any of this, the emails, and that's her category. And I don't demand. She does all the strategizing, the making money online. What she talk about, that's her brainchild. I don't know about any of that. That is what her, and I release her to do that. And so, can you make partnerships in your own family? And what we're challenging you for this challenge, you need to share this information, this every Saturday, because we're going to do this for a 90-day challenge. And your assignment is to find, say you have a best friend and you say, hey, me and her been talking about improving not only our credit, but even if y'all just talking about improving your finances, right? So you say, hey, I want you to join this with me or watch. Sometimes you might not can make it. That person can. And they'll say, well, tonight, this is where we talked about. And I want you to be able with that person to bounce ideas off of one another because you can motivate one another. But each person over this 90 days as an assignment, we're going to build not an MLL, we're going to build a me. Okay. We're going to, at the end of this challenge, have you to create your own economy. Okay. And I want y'all to grasp this principle. So if I bring my girlfriend in, her assignment is to bring and attach 8 more people, or seven more people. With her, that's 8. I'm already here. 8 more people. And their assignment is to get 8 more people themselves, because essentially by the end of this 90 days, I want to change your, actually have a paradigm shift. Y'all don't need money. Y'all already have everything you need if you can build a network. Let's say it again. You don't need money. Y'all can build whatever you need with a network. Thank you, Lawrence, for the $20 super
Thank you,
chat.
Lauren.
We really, and Lawrence is a long-standing member of the Elite Credit System.
Yep.
He's been there since day one. So we appreciate Lawrence. Shout out to him. And why we want to build these networks, because just like with you, and we're going to bring some examples tonight, and we're going to give you tangible things that you can work on. And when y'all locate that person, please reconnect them or share with your family members the link to this live that you're going to bring on. So, for example, I myself, y'all know about the inspections. Some of y'all that's been here. If not, I'll let y'all know I was a single mom. Diamond can say it. I was working jobs. I did own a real estate property. But for me, as a single parent, to be there for their school, to drop them off, I started doing the inspections part-time. So when I came on, and I actually got that from wholesaling, doing wholesaling, I bumped into Michelle Peters. Shout out to you, Michelle, if you're watching. And me and her, because she was a single mom, and we were out there we met at a deal for a contract. She had a person that wanted to sell the home, and I had a referral, and we met right at a property, and we immediately hit it off. We connected. So as I was going out getting it, that's how I connected to Michelle. And many of y'all saw Manny. We bring Manny on, and he always talked. I met Manny through Michelle. Right. You see what I'm saying? And met other people from Manny through his network of people. And I always tell this story. If I need money, all I got to do, I'll call some of my people. Manny, one of them. Manny, I'm broke. What can I do? And because Manny is always connected, he brings me ideas. Going back to this inspection thing, Manny was the one that got us into lawn care, because by connecting with Michelle, who introduced me to Manny, and Michelle got me to do the inspections. That's how I learned about the inspections, through Michelle. She said, hey, girl, I got something else that I'm doing. Yep. And she introduced me to the inspections. I met Manny through doing that. And Manny said, hey, you know, they do lawn care. I said, no, I didn't know that. He said, yeah, well, you can get the contract through our contractor, which Michelle got that contractor to do the work through Manny. Yep. And so you see how that all connected. Now, I didn't have to invest money. I got the plug from my people. It didn't take money. It took me, with that company I was working with, I'm already in, to go under contract, because they had the plug. And so my father already had the equipment. He didn't have to go buy anything new. He was already doing lawn care. And I told him, hey, I got this. You bring your lawn care, and we begin to make $10,000. Diamond, almost like, you know, it was like $20,000 months. Yep. And it did not take money. It only took gas. My father did the gas. Then we got my nephew Trey. Diamond did the organizing, and everybody got paid. And it wasn't money invested. It was the resources we already had. My resource was the connection. His resources was, he was already doing some lawn cuts down in Florida. He had the equipment, and we didn't have to invest money. I got the contract, and we got paid every week. Yep. Or every 2 weeks. My bad. Every 2 weeks, we begin to get paid. So I want y'all to think about this. I just needed to lay that basis, because Diamond is going to bring you some actual tangible suggestions, some business things that's already in place, and platforms where you can get in, and you can make it a family business together. Yes. All right. And Diamond, do you want to add on to what I just laid out?
Yeah. And I wanted to add one point. Like you said, my grandfather had the equipment. You had the inspections, you brought in the jobs. And then with me, I was 14, well, probably 15, 16 years old or whatever like that, I had the time, you know what I mean? Where nobody else, but that is a valuable resource. I just wanted to throw that in. And so sometimes when I talk to people, I'm like, well, do you have kids? And they're like, oh yeah, but they don't want to help me. If they have, or they're lazy, they don't blah, blah, blah. If they have the time, they can do things, you know, and I think it's just challenging people to get things done. You never know what's in people unless you challenge them and stretch them to do it, which my mom has always done with me. And she's like, hey, look, you sitting here, do this. And so we did it, and it became a whole business, a whole system.
And we got paid. So before I even did the lawn care, what was I doing? I said, I went out and got these inspections. I passed her my cell phone.
Yep.
Because she would do the uploading for me. And she'll be sitting in her room. I taught her how to do that part. And then she got paid. And this is how she knew how to handle the same pictures for the lawn cuts. So that was a step. I would hand her my phone. Then my father, when he got back to the house for the lawn cuts, he'll hand her the phone. She'll route it. And so another thing, we have to incentivize one another, even your kids. You want to structure their pay. So we want to show them that it's whoever is working with us. My nephew came up with a slogan. We won't say it all the way how he did, but he said, all of us is going to eat. And we'll say that. All of us, and he'll be like, we all going to eat. And that is our slogan. We're all going to eat. Okay. And so are you building that with your family? Do everybody get a plate? Do you got the mentality that I got my kids grown, this, and now it's up to them? No, our kids should not get it from the mud. And Diamond, you want to add anything to kind of what I just even built upon?
And everything that that I did with my family, even from being in when they were in real estate, my grandparents with the building that they own, and then my mom with her homes, and we were all in there painting. And if something happened, you know, they had me and my little sister. We was up there, we was painting. You figure out something to do, but it taught me different real life skills and things that were handy and helpful later on. But even on the business side, I became very business savvy because of those things. And I was able to work with a lot of technology, and like I say, trial and error, many trials and error. And even with setting up our businesses now I help like my church. Now I'm able to do coaching and do all these things because through trial and error and just figuring out with my family how to do certain things, I'm able to really be a spearhead, you know, in other organizations to help them. And I also wanted to let y'all, I want to challenge y'all to do something, because we want you guys to bring in your friends, bring in your family. Could you leave in the comment section just one person you're thinking about bringing in? You don't have to say their name, but maybe their relation to you. Like, I'm going to bring my sister in, or I'm going to bring my brother, and I'm going to bring my cousin, and I'm going to bring my girlfriend in. And also, we do thank you to our team. Shout out to them. They created a form for us for you guys to sign up with, and you could just let us know, like, hey, I'm interested in doing this challenge with you all. It's a free challenge, but we just want to know if you're interested. And it lets us know too, if you have that person's email and that person needs a little extra nudge, we're going to hit them up and say, hey, so-and-so invited you to our challenge. So let's get in. This is what you need to do to get started. So I'm going to put that form here in the comments right now. You're going to go to our homepage. You're going to see a nice big yellow button, and you're just going to click on that. So that's all that I had to say. And then I'll pass it back.
And I want to show you that right there. I ain't know about that. I had no idea. And guess what? I didn't have to invest any time or come up with that. She brainstorm. I didn't know that about that. Look at that. Ain't that good, y'all?
Shout out to the team.
This is the point. Yeah. The point is, I don't have to spend time on that. And I have things, and I'll tell her, Diamond, I'm doing this. She ain't got to spend time on that. And just to add one more nugget, she told you about the rental property. My parents drugged us up there to, they have, Lord God, my parents was the first Black people in Newark. I swear they had a bodega. I don't know why we had a bodega. They had units they rented, and we were there. And so when my parents drugged me and my brothers, we had to go paint. Diamond to tell you, her and her sister, they came at my rental property. They already know. Put on paint clothes. We gotta go paint. And poor Diamond to bring her friends. Shout out to Sierra, cause her friends will come and like we about to have a paint party. So we would go over there. But I'm telling you something by myself that would take me many hours. We would split up and do it. And here's the point. Because she's going to inherit it. Faith is going to inherit it. Shouldn't they be hands-on to know how to maintain it? What is the point of me building all of this just for other people to lose it? So that's another thing for you to know, just dealing with your own kids and your family. It's been many people we've seen in our family work hard, but if you don't teach your kids how to keep it going or how to manage it, it'll get lost when you get gone. So that's part of it. And I'm going to segue now because I saw somebody saying, how can I set up an account, to increase my credit score? So I'm going to start off with the first segue on even going for this lines of credit to help you. Now, how we're going to use this concept to build credit. If you have a spouse, husband or wife, that needs to be dropped in the comment section. That person, if you're married, has to be your other partner. You're already in partnership. So that should be automatically the other person that come in. I've seen some that says daughter, sons, dropping that. So we have to do that. So if that person is under 18 or 17 or even 12 and up, even better, right? And or if that person is 18, great, because now they can legally get credit. And this is how I want you to build, even if it's your parent, on how this secret is building together. And I tell y'all all the time how I bought my first rental property. My mom added me on as an authorized user. You need to leverage authorized user accounts to help one another. So say we're both starting off, and some of you guys are parents, you're rebuilding, and it's nothing wrong with that. You didn't have any help. So now you're in the rebuilding stage. Or say it's a husband and wife. Now y'all went through some financial challenges. We're focusing on income, so y'all don't run into that and our credit again. So spouse 1 and 2, so husband and wife, I want you guys to get together, review both of your credit, and you want to start working, because sometimes we have situations where the husband really their credit score might be low, but they haven't been getting credit. So they don't have a ton of stuff on their credit report. The credit score look low, but they're the person that can really go forward first. They just got to learn these concepts. And so when that spouse get that first credit card, we want to target those with authorized users. And so where you can start, a good place to start to get credit lines that is not extremely hard to get is looking at store cards. Victoria's Secrets is one that you can get, and you could use things like the shopping cart trick. And there's other ways. We actually have something we're working on to help you pre-qualify for the right card. And it's going to be a soft pull pre-approval. And so that second part, y'all want to look out for soft pull pre-approvals, because we don't want you to get a ton of hard inquiries. That's going to decrease your credit score. So with soft pull pre-approvals, the way that works, that actually will let you know, are you that customer profile that bank or that company is looking for? Now, is it 100% guaranteed? No, but you got a good 80% chance of getting that card, and it won't ding your credit score just to find out if you pre-qualify. So once that one spouse get a card with authorized user accounts, so we want to make sure we're being intentional to seek those out, because not every credit line have authorized user accounts like credit building cards. Generally, you can't add on authorized user, and some secure credit cards. They don't allow that. So we want to look for those cards that does. So if the husband get that, he needs to add the spouse on as an authorized user, or vice versa, who get it first. What that's going to do for free, without you guys paying for credit builder accounts like a monthly subscription, now that spouse is getting the benefit of that credit boost. So their score can go up maybe by on average 49 points. So now they're no longer getting it out of the mud themselves. The spouse helped them. Now, spouse, you don't have to give them that card because some people are better with managing that. They might have to continue to plug in here and learn what to do. So don't panic, because there's parents and other people that are real nervous. With the authorized user accounts, you are the controller of that account. They can't even call in and make changes. They only get the benefit of that credit line, that utilization, and your positive payment history. So now, say the wife, she's added on, now her score is higher. Now this allows that person to now go and look for another credit card, and now she can add the other spouse on, and he bumps up. And you're doing this off of one hard inquiry on one person, where you're not getting a ton, and you're leveraging those accounts to build payment history. And then both spouses can actually reach back and help your kids. And you can do it now, not later on, you can add them on. And so when my daughter Faith, even Diamond, picked up on that, when they came out of the gate, 700 credit scores. They don't have to get it out of the mud themselves. And so you can do that if you have a parent, or you are a parent and you do have good credit. You can do that for your kids. And that might put them in a position now where they can buy a home if they're at that position to help them build credit. Of course, with authorized user accounts, for home buying, they only kind of allow it if it's the spouses. Sometimes if you got that parent last name, you might could sneak away with it, like, so, if you're a male and your dad is adding you on, and that wife have the same last name as your father, it might go under the radar, like that. But you can do that to help build your credit. Even if they add you on the authorized user and you can't buy a home, maybe that's not your objective, but it can help boost your credit score so you could qualify for other credit cards and just keep leveraging that principle. So that's a way that you can increase your credit score, and it can possibly get you access to funds in order to build a business, or even to reduce your interest rate, to refinance your car, possibly even, get a new place that you might want to live instead of the place you are now, to actually, get out of a certain neighborhood that you want your kids to have more safety. So those are that idea and concept of working together to increase your credit score. So Diamond, I'm going to let you take away on your part.
Yes, so I want to bring to you all, someone had a quick question before we move on. I just want to see if we can answer this. What if you have a 501c charity? What do you put on your credit card app, and what do you put on your Dun and Bradstreet?
And what do you on your credit card application? Number one, you have to find out if your bank institution actually deal with nonprofits. So that's the thing about the nonprofits. When you understand business credit, right? Business credit is so much different than personal credit. And the way they look at you is the North American standard codes, NEIS codes, industry codes. So with you even starting a business, you're going to get a code for that. And that code is that industry and that risk. So they pretty much, let's say trucking. Trucking is a risky type of business, and automatically compared to other industries, you're just going to have a lower credit score because they're going to judge you with other similar like businesses in that category and what is the cash flow of those average businesses. Unfortunately, with a nonprofit, while banks stay away from it, you're not making any cash flow. Banks are for profit. So not many of them deal with nonprofits. It may be your local bank. Yeah, so that's the thing. So the way you can do that, take Ronald McDonald House. Sometimes you could set up a for-profit company that get cash flow that donates proceeds to that nonprofit. And the Ronald McDonald House is a great example, even though that's their charity, their 501, section 501 3C, but they do like, that's how they get through donations from you or me. Do you want to give to that? And that's how funds can come through there. But you just have to find the right banks that does. I will look into some things concerning nonprofits. I believe one of them is the charity card. It is one, but there's not a lot. So you're going to use like third party, some of them. It's just, I deal with a lot of them, even with some of my other lenders. And that's one of the main questions, because I got people that want nonprofits, but that's the thing that they're going to say. It's like a lot of them do not fund nonprofits, because even if you're a church, just say churches, parishioners dictate that income. And so maybe you can do something for profit to fund the nonprofit. So I'll land it there. I think you are on mute, Diamond.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for that. If you guys have any more questions, we will get to them towards the end, and I am seeing them, I'm starring them, and we will come back to that. I wanted to talk about a couple of different things. I have 4 in mind that I want to talk to you about, but we'll get to as many as we can. Things that you can do in collaboration with one another to make money. The first thing that I'm going to tell you about is something called drop servicing. So this is something I just covered on my latest video that I posted yesterday. And so drop servicing is not drop shipping, but drop servicing is basically is connecting 2 companies together while you are a third party company. So one way that I've been seeing a lot of people talk about this is through what they call remote cleaning. So what a lot of people do in the drop servicing industry, well, a lot of people that are more successful with it, is they would connect small cleaning businesses with organizations or people that need cleaners, right? So for an example, I have a girlfriend, and she has all the equipment that she needs to start her cleaning business, but she's handling the LLC, she's handling this, she's trying to get everything together, and then to have to scout out leads is extremely overwhelming. And so what you as a drop servicer would do is you would just simply stand in the middle and say, hey, I got you. I have leads for you to connect you with people that need cleaning services. And the entire time you're just sitting behind a computer, just doing this. Now, this doesn't cost you any money to do. You don't have to really do cold calling. It's just simply looking and finding people and shooting them an email, asking them to jump on a Zoom link with you to express how you can help them. And again, I've seen someone say like, oh, well, why wouldn't I handle my own marketing? That all sounds fine and dandy until you're doing everything in a business. And finding those leads are one of the most difficult things. So imagine one person doing nothing else in their day but finding you leads, and then you bring it to them. Now, let's say for an example, that cleaning business, they were going to do, let's say they said we're going to charge $1,000, right? For the service, just throwing a number out there. And so you will go to the person that needs cleaning, for example, real estate agents that need these homes cleaned out. So you want to, or people, Airbnb owners, you want to find other busy business people who do not have the time to do this themselves. Looking at organizations, I have another woman that I was coaching and working with where she wants to work with church organizations specifically to do their cleaning. And they already have a bunch of other things going on. So you're just looking for two busy people and connecting them together. So going back to that number, if the cleaning service people, the people that are going to be doing the cleaning, says we're going to charge $1,000 for this type of job, you go over to the business and you tell them, hey, we need $1,200. You give the cleaning people their 1,000, you keep your 200, everybody's happy. You keep the negotiation together. And if you wanted to take this a step further, you hire an assistant, or as we're talking about collaboration, you have your son, your daughter, your husband, your wife to then handle, like, hey, we can up our services by saying we'll do scheduling as well. And all of this is things that you can do. Oh, did we move? All of this are things that you can do directly from your home. And this business model is something that's extremely common. In the video, I even talked about how we as influencers work with third-party people all of the time. When we have sponsorships and brand deals, there's a new high in demand industry called influencer agencies. And what they do, they go out, look for different brands that are looking for creators to work with, and they connect the two people. So they connect the brand, they connect the creator, they stand in the middle, and they get some form of cut between us. So if they ask me, how much money do you want for this particular project? And I give them a number, let's say if I'm going to promote this product for $5,000. They'll go back to the company and say, we need $5,500. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Whatever their cut is, I really don't care what their cut is as long as I get what I asked for in my payment. You know, you do what you do. It's the same thing that wholesalers do. This is the same thing that agencies do. So this is something that you can do independently with any service-based business. A little gem that I didn't mention, but I thought about later on outside of the video, is where I currently am right now living. There is a high demand of looking for hairstylists and independent nail artists. There's a lot of us ladies, especially Black women, where we're kind of tired of paying these crazy prices, and we just need to find the right small businesses that do these types of services. There can be somebody that literally builds a list, builds a network of hairstylists in the area, nail artists in the area that just simply aren't getting the attraction and getting the leads, and you could get paid just like that, just by pretty much, yes, like a broker, by brokering that deal. So that's just something that you can do as a team. And if you have 2 to 3 people going out looking for leads, then you could definitely 10x your profits that way. Now, for those of you that are
one break, it's 103 people here. Can y'all do me a favor and just like up as Diamond? Yeah, because it'll help get the video out. Thank you, Diamond. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. Yes, guys, please like the video, and please let me know. I talk fast, so let me know if I'm talking too fast. But the second thing or idea that you guys could be doing, especially in collaboration, for those of you who are a little bit more practical, there is a moving company called, or website that is called Dolly. So what Dolly does is connects people who have vehicles such as like the F-150s, someone that has a trailer, someone that has a vehicle big enough to hold furniture or to just move certain items. And if you guys need to see a list of those type of vehicles that they're looking for, I do have the video for you. But with Dolly, there's a really good opportunity to collaborate. So if you have a truck where you can again hold heavy items like furniture on it, they're going to pay you up to $90 per hour just for you using your truck being there, right? So that's not you doing the moving, that is simply you driving and providing the vehicle for the move to happen. Now, they also offer up to $60 per hour for people to be something that they call a hand. So the hand is the person that actually does the moving. And this all is in you are your own business. So it's helping you build your own moving business on a very small scale. And for liability, they have insurance coverage for you. So a lot of
Almost
these,
like Uber or Lyft does the
yes,
same
so
thing.
they have their own insurance coverage that you will have to protect you and to protect the person that, whose stuff they're being moved. So that's something that they handle. But this is the thing, I really wish I could show it to y'all visually, but I think if you watch the video, it'll make a lot more sense. But this is the thing, they invite you and encourage you. If you have a vehicle and then you have people that are friends and family that don't have the vehicle, but they got the manpower and the strength, the physical strength to go ahead and pick up heavy items like a TV, a couch, something like that, then they will route you guys together, but they will pay you independently. So that means that you will have a whole moving business, but if you are the person with the truck, you don't have to pay your cousin that's helping you because Dolly is going to pay both of you hourly. So you don't really, it's not eating out of your own profit, but it's something that you guys could do together. And if you all sign up together and put your referral, like, hey, so-and-so is going to be working with me, they're going to route you all together so that it becomes your own business. And they encourage you to grow, and to scale that business. And they provide you the leads. So all you need to do is either provide the vehicle or provide the hands. So that's something that you can do. And I'm going to leave the link to that video as well as the link to the website for you guys. So that is called Dolly. Now, this third thing that I want to talk to you guys about is more on a digital scale. So for those of you that are looking to get into digital products and to make money online, a really big thing that's happening right now is membership programs. And a lot of people are looking for community, just as what we have here, right? Right now, you guys watching us on live, us talking about different topics and showing up weekly is a community. Now, if you could put that behind a paywall where people pay a subscription so they can pay $10 a month, $20 a month. And at this time, there's such a need for authenticity and there's such a need for just people coming together, like-minded people. And there is a website called skool.com. It's SKOOL. And it's becoming really big, and you can create a program, a membership program off of any topic. So for an example, let's say, yes, Dolly is an app as well. So you can download the app. But let's say, for an example, you're a single mother and you want to help, or you just want to create a safe space for other single mothers to come and talk, and to maybe share resources together. You can be charging a membership that's as low as $1.99 a month, or you could be charging $199 per month, just depending on the type of service or the type of environment you're offering. Are you going to be giving them educational files like courses? Are you going to, how frequently are you going to be there? If you have any type of career experience, you could, let's say you are a Black American in tech, because that's a big topic at this point too. There's so many people that would pay for that type of membership just for people to meet up together to figure out, how can I increase my revenue? What other job opportunities are there for me? And people just want to talk to other people. So also, if you have someone, let's say like my mother and I, we have the Elite Business Circle where we're putting together both the credit aspect and the money making aspect. This is how we create memberships together where, okay, I could bring in my portion and my skills and she could bring in her portion and her skills. And I could put out my efforts to get people in the group, and then she puts out her efforts to get people in the group. So if you guys could partner with one another. If you know somebody is really good at a particular topic and you guys can come together, and then like Kanisha is, our cousin Kanisha is really good at grants, and so she brings that portion to the group, like resourcing those things. And you guys could build that membership together, and you pay a subscription, and the people that join the membership pay a subscription, and that can be a reoccurring income for you every single month. And I'm going to,
and Kanisha actually gave the part of questions. Remember, that was golden.
yes,
To get down to us to actually uproot what people really wanted to do. So to tap into their passion business. And she already had this already going in a program she was working on. So we didn't have to do that work. She just came in and gave us that information. So I just want to plug that in. People, Diamond already had her system. I had the credit information. She had that. We just came in and cooked the dinner.
Yep.
And people can sit down. So we want you to just think about that collaboration.
Yes, absolutely. And the last thing that I wanted to bring to you all doesn't even involve working, but just you guys coming together. And that is by having high yield savings accounts that you guys could all collaborate on. It's just a way that if you have some money sitting in the bank, you might as well be gaining interest on that money. So for an example, I have a high yield interest account with, I think, Chase and American Express, but the Chase one has the best interest yield. I think it's 4.25%, something of that nature. And I started it, I put $10,000 in that savings account, and that account pays about $90 to $100 per month. And that's just accumulating every month. So you're talking about by the end of the year, and that's just with my own personal money, by the end of the year, money that was just going to sit in my bank account anyway, I get an additional $1,200 on top of that. So if you, especially husbands and wife, you guys start an account together wherever y'all put money in, and I do something that's reoccurring. So every time I get paid, I put a certain amount of money back into that savings account, because it just makes no sense to have money sitting in a bank account that is depreciating in value instead of, building up interest. If you and your whole family can start contributing to this savings account, you guys would be building up on top of interest, on top of interest, on top of interest. And I looked up some of the best, or, the top 10 high yield savings account or the companies that offer them. And that's going to be like SoFi, Capital One, Lending Club, Synchrony Bank, Citibank. And then, as I said, Chase Bank also has a pretty good high interest rate on that. So that's something I would highly suggest that you all do together. I mean, when it comes to the Rothschilds, the Vanderbilts, this is how they made their success. They became a family bank. They put all their money together. And I believe there's in many other cultures as well. I don't want to mess it up, but I know in African cultures, they do something where they put their money all in a bowl together, and then they use that money to invest in the, if you guys know what I'm talking about, put that in the chat. But it starts with an S, but it's something that we as the Black community should be doing. So they bring in their money together as a family, and then they invest in real estate, or they invest in the most promising person in that family to send them to college, to get them an education. So I do highly suggest that you start an account where everybody could put some money in every month, and then let that money grow in interest. Yes, that's correct.
But and they do that in a lot of cultures. I was going to say that even African American cultures did that, and Hispanic cultures do that a lot. We did that actually at Ford too. It's called a susu. So yes,
Yep, that's what it is. A susu. So that's something that I would highly encourage, especially if it's trustworthy people, the people that are in your household, and to start those accounts for your children. And I even have I have a high yield savings account. Then I have another account with Navy Federal, a Roth IRA account, where I put money in that every month. And, later on in life, I plan on having children, things like that. So that's money that I do not touch. And I say that this is going to be for my future kids. And God forbid I never have kids, I put it in my sister's name, and my baby sister and my little sister's name, so that by the next 20 years, they can buy a house, they can pay for their wedding, they can go to school, something like that. So these are things that I would highly suggest that you all get started doing. And it doesn't take you a lot of money to at least get started and jump into it. So that's what I had for tonight.
And I want to add on, Diamond, I just adjusted it. So, for the shorts, just in case.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
See, and we work in tandem because I'm sorry, I messed up on a thing, but we create a lot of this stuff into shorts. So while she's explaining, trying to do our view at the same thing. So we're backing up each other. But one thing that she mentioned about the cleaning business. So with the inspections, you guys, that's what they have cleaning contracts where they want you to maintain. We did that and keep clean a property that's been cleaned out because it's on the market to be sold. So we had to come in there, do an initial cleaning, and then maintain it every month according to the standard of the bank. So that can be extra money along with what Diamond suggested for you. The gentleman that was talking about the nonprofit, Diamond and I did a video, and it's with the Amazon for nonprofits to start making content. You're talking about your mission and to use Wayware. What is it? Wayward. They give you an account for content creators, and you can link certain Amazon products. So if you're a nonprofit, say if you're linking toilet tissue, something that everybody needs via Amazon, you can just ask to generate income because they give a commission, like for the gentleman with the nonprofit, or if you're a church, or if you have an organization that you're helping your community, young people, ask your community, can you purchase from here the essentials that you need? I buy tissue and paper towels from Amazon. So I'm just weird like that. It's nothing like running out of toilet tissue. So I buy whole rolls. If you link that to your store, then people can support you by buying the things that you need. Pretty much everything is on Amazon. And so you can make income by people just supporting that for your nonprofit or for, your business. The other part, you guys, content creation. Do you know YouTube pay you like for free? Do you know how much everybody's running around after real estate? You got to get your credit together. Do you know it's people making millions, and we know them? No cap. It's too many people, to be honest, that made that and made well over 6 figures. Well over 6 figures. Okay. Well over. Okay. All right. You're looking at 2 people right here, just off of YouTube. Okay. Alone for $0. A lot of y'all chasing. I'm too shy. Oh, for over 6 figures, I'm not that shy. A lot of y'all getting in student loan debt for what? My God's here today. Diamond, you did a video where you showed one video. You revealed that. I ain't putting your business that you don't want. Made $30,000 off of one video. So you telling me you to who? Who for $30,000? Who I care about who laughing at me? I ain't got time for like that. Because guess what? Them same folks that you worried about, they gonna stay laughing at you until you do something and show them. Then they'll turn their whole thing around. That's my cousin. You see what I'm saying? So you need to focus less about people's opinions and more about your success. In the words of Beyonce, the best revenge is your paper. Okay, I stand on business on that line. She ain't never lied. So why are you? It's like I can't get over people that who's gonna watch me. Guess what? If nobody watch you, nobody's seen it. So what are you worried about? That's like if a tree fall in the forest and don't make a sound. Did it really make a sound? You see what I'm saying? What do you care? A lot of y'all want to get perfect. Honey, I'm still making my videos off my cell phone because I like it. Okay? Think about that. Why are you missing opportunities when social media is free to get a bag? Make it make sense. You ain't got to get no bread up. You ain't got to get your credit right. Compared to real estate as a long-term investment, but the money you have to put down to get into the market, you're not doing this first and it's free to make money. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of people will say, oh, if I knew years ago what you're teaching me, I would have been, you wouldn't have did nothing. Because I'm going to tell you, in 2006 and 5, I worked 2 full-time jobs. You wasn't going to do that. And I made good money. And I went out there just to learn something in insurance. 14 hours a day. You wouldn't have never did that. If you can't make money now, where folks is paying you online for free, and if you're located in America, you got opportunity. Do you know people in African regions, Asia, and all these other regions don't even have that available to them? Do you know that you're just sitting here letting money pass you by? You're sniggling and giggling, as your friend used to say, sniggling and giggling online, and you're being sold, and you don't even know it. You sitting up there play, and folk getting money all around you. And everybody that said, oh, ain't no money in my hood. I don't care what hood you go to. I'm from Newark, New Jersey. Okay. So I know about the neighborhood. Okay. You go out your door in Newark, New Jersey, look to the right, look to the left. You're looking at $1 million easy in whatever hood you in. So could we stop thinking the way we do? There's plenty opportunity, but it's how you seeing it. And are you on that time? I'll give you an example. It happened to me. And this is what this is for, because I have to talk to wake people out of things. Have you ever been looking for something? I was dropping my child off at daycare, going to the gym, Planet Fitness, going all the way about 20 minutes to a Planet Fitness. Y'all, I opened my eyes. Do you know the gym was right behind the daycare center the whole time? And I was driving to get to the other fitness, driving right by it until I was like, man, this taking me 20 minutes to get up there. And I started being more aware of the situation. I went around the corner. Are you serious? It's one right there. I'm telling you, not even 2 minutes away. It's right behind there. And because I wasn't awake or even looking for the opportunity, I did not see it. It was costing me time because I could be working on something else, been done with that workout. 20 minutes, I'm there for an hour. So you're talking about I was losing every day, saying 5 days a week. That's a whole hour of work. I could have been at home, showered, and getting to work, missing opportunity. This is why we're telling you this now. Y'all are missing out a lot of money being asleep, not having a paradigm shift, not being aware. And so now us talking to you, bringing this awareness to you, eyes are going to come open, and you're going to see a lot of opportunity. Yeah, we're changing things culturally. Stop. This is an American mindset. Independence. Get it out the mud. We're going to you use your daddy's money. So what? Yeah, you better use your daddy's money too, because that's why you're broke. They're playing a different game than you. And I tell y'all all the time, don't despise the rich because you cut off. This is where Robert Kiyosaki from Rich Dad, Poor Dad, if you read that book, that was the point. Y'all going to work for money. And I told y'all, stop looking to exchange time for money. You want to get out of that principle. The rich invest and buy assets, and that's how they get wealthy. Wealthy is on time, not being rich is abundance. But like Shaq said, the dude told him, and why he started investing in all these businesses. Shaq selling pizza, Shaq in Newark building high rise condos right down there in Newark where he's from. Shaq with the general, he in some insurance now. Shaq in everything because the man told him, he said, you know the difference between me and you? You are rich. I'm wealthy. He said it's a big difference. He said, because it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. There's many of businesses that were making money. Marc Jacobs was one of them, was making 5 million, but he was like 7 million in the hole. So you're not above water. So it's not about how much you're making. It's about how much you're keeping. There's people in San Francisco that make over 100,000 a year sleeping in their cars, because in that environment, yeah, that's a lot of money anywhere else in the country, but that'll leave you homeless out there because it's how much you're keeping. So you have to change your awareness. What do you have? And I love that parable with the woman with Elisha. She said, my son's is going into debt. From my husband debt. He was a good man. He was a prophet. He was a good man. He lived a good life. But unfortunately, you guys, you being a good person don't guarantee you of actual success financially here. The Bible have a whole different set of principles. And if you're not cracking Proverbs, and if you're not cracking Ecclesiastics, you're missing a lot of money. Do you know how many rich people read that? Do you know how many wealthy people read those things? Because if you're just worried about getting to heaven and you're not worried about your here and now, and that was part of it, you're supposed to it said Jesus left captivity captive, but left you gifts. That's the parable of the talents. Are you burying your talent? Or are you investing that? Are you doubling that? That talent represent a lifetime worth of wealth. Do you know? That's why Elijah said to her, what do you got in your house? I'm asking y'all this today. What do you got in your house? And that's in you as a gift and talent. And what do you got talent in your household? Your children, a lot of y'all kids are very talented. Don't stem them for, doing things in technology. That's why I listened to her. My nephew started my Instagram account. I didn't know. Let them work for you. Listen to your kids. They might be the next Zuckerberg. He's the one that came up with social media. Let them babies work. Do you know that's where all the millionaires are coming from? The millennials and this and technology. Listen to them. We do give guidance, but listen to them. Y'all don't know what you might have birthed already out of your womb. Men, you might not know what you already produced in your family line. Like, cultivate those kids. They might be the key, along with your guidance. What do you got in your house? You guys are valuable. This is my lane. I thought it was not valuable whatsoever until Michelle told me. She's like, girl, you know about this. People need that help. She was doing real estate. You got something valuable. I want y'all to know the thing that come easiest to you, that's generally what's going to be your gift. Steve Harvey talked about that. He said, just making people laugh came easy to me. And do you know that was your gift? Sarah Lee, she worked in the diner and she just made one day a good pie. Do you know that desserts was her gift? Patti LaBelle could sing, but that dessert probably made her more income.
Yes.
We can have talk about Black History Month. Let's talk about George Foreman. He went broke from his talent, made million with that Thriller and Vanilla with Muhammad Ali. Went broke, became made, he said, millions, and he just found himself so depressed. If you listen to his story, he said because money, he thought it coming from, a hood, just being said, I thought if I made this much money, and he said that was the loneliest place in his life, because sometimes just having a goal to reach, you put in all your hope that that's going to be happiness, and it wasn't. And he went broke again by building a boys club and doing that. And he said the only reason he came back to boxing in his later years was to raise this money for what he had a passion to do, teaching kids to just sit there and box, for young men to keep them out the street. And once he came back to do that, working his talent, this time right, he got the George Foreman grilled offer. And so his image, it was somebody else's product. It's his image, his influence made him millions, and then it stuck. So we have story after story. Will Smith went broke. That many people did it. Oh, LL Cool J went broke, did it over again. But to stand, what do you guys have in your house? If somebody is paying you right now, you on a job, you got talent. You got something to offer. How can you make it work for yourself? Don't neglect that value. I want to just really coach you guys to understand, to not be high and mighty, but value what God put in you. You see what I'm saying? So if you went through an application process and a job selected you to do that position, they saw something in you.
Yep.
Can you work that for yourself? And I'll land there. We just want to change that you already got something in your house. And so if you're left with nothing right now, your credit's bad, you're broke, I want to leave this with you. You already got everything in you right there. Whatever God left you with, that's it. The woman was broke. She didn't have nothing. So it was easy. I want y'all to know, for her, it was easy to recognize. She said, I don't have nothing but this oil. Being broke sometimes make you recognize what's really valuable to you. And she had that oil. And what did the prophet tell her? Borrow.
Mm-hmm.
Some of y'all got talent and you're going to go borrow. She worked in her community. This is what we're trying to build. He said, borrow. She went to her community and it made her wealthy.
Yep.
Those vessels, she borrowed from her own circle, her own neighborhood, her own community. And he said, shut the door. So some things don't always have to be out in the open. You ain't got to get validations from everybody. She just borrowed. The children of Israel, God, Moses at the right time said, go borrow from them folk. You got favor. Go borrow. You know what I'm saying? And it was the timing. And that's how they spoiled the Egyptians, from borrowing. And I'm not saying you run away from the bank, but I'm just saying they leveraged a community. So this is what we're telling you. You got your own economy. And if you learn how to build community, I want y'all to know money is not. People say, I only deal with cash and not credit. That money, that's credit, baby. That ain't cash. It's fake. It's backed by nothing but the United States, good backing and good faith. They took that off the gold standard. Your cash is credit. It's a piece of paper that they take around the world and get off the continent of Africa, gold resources, go to Ukraine, get precious metals, and they printing it. And they're forcing everybody to use it because they use their power, their community. And a lot of y'all getting the game messed up. Red or blue, neither is for you. let me help you out. Red nor blue, either is for you. And I'm going to tell you, if you're on either side of that, right? And I said this today, say you got diabetes, right? And your diabetes is already bad. Your sugar is high. And the doctor gave you this pill and said, okay, take this, and this is going to help you. If you're taking it for a month and you're in a worse condition than when you started taking, you was already bad, but your situation is getting worse, don't you step back and say, what's in this dang on pill? Don't you go to Google, what the heck is in this? Now, one thing might be potassium. Okay, that's good. This is good, but you might find arsenic. Some of y'all are swallowing the pill, and some of the ideas are good, but it's some poison in it. It's a poison pill, because on both sides of both ideologies, we see tons of poor. You go to West Virginia, poor. You go to New York, Black people, y'all poor and don't own not even half of the wealth there, not even 1%. And you've been voting a certain way for over 50 years. You got a poison pill somewhere. So you need to step back. Either pill that you're taking home, you need to break it down. See what's in that pill. Some of it can be kept, and some of it is a poison pill need to throw away. It is not benefiting you. And that poison that's in both sides is defeating all the good. So what you want to do is listen and think about your own health for your family and your community. And you look from that lens. And we're not going for a party. We're looking at individual policies. Because one thing both sides got in common, when they get in that government, if they ain't rich when they went there, they sure rich when they came out. I haven't seen a broke one come out. They sit there long enough because they all getting deals. And Hillary ain't thinking about you. She thinking about Charlotte here and now. Trump ain't thinking about you. He thinking about them grandbabies. All of them are working the same way. And they all friends. Now, maybe now some of them are going at it. It's a new, but most of them, you already seen, he was going to Hillary. Ivana and Hillary daughter was best friends. Went to each other's weddings. So it's called political theater. A lot of it is. It might be some real issues now because they was trying to get folk locked up. And now you see really, but they ain't got nothing to do with us. We don't care. Lock each other up. We don't care. Long as we ain't, get in touch. But you got to look at it. A lot of them, it's their own interest and it's not for you. So you got to see what's going on in your community. And somebody asked a question. They said, what do you think about the CFPB being defunded and shut down? Let me bring you some education in that. It can be bad if they roll back those things for the and it's talked about rolling back the medical bills showing up. That is terrible for you, right? To a certain extent, it's terrible. But here's the flip side of that thing. The flip side that I know, what they're rolling back, Elon Musk's biggest bone to pick, he want the buy here, pay thing. Like he was trying to do that with X, with just like you got with a firm and all of that, and compliance is coming in. The banks is upset because when you look at Dodd-Frank and how it came in, Elizabeth Warren introduced the CFPB because of what happened in with the banks lending in 2008, the crash in the mortgage industry. So what they start doing is upping the requirements of how many assets and liquidity of the banks. They raised the requirements on how much reserves they need to have. So it can work two ways. It could be bad if you're a person with not student loan, but medical debt, right? And you worried about that coming back. But the other thing, if they remove those compliances, y'all going to get access to a lot more lending. I will say that, just like what we saw in the 2008s, because I'm looking at people or 2006. I got a second rental property with no money out of pocket because the bank was just funding stuff. So what I'm telling you, knowing that, you better go and get that money. Don't let, because they might burn it down. But you need to go on and slide on to the left over here. I need to get this funding and I need to get this cracking while it's going. Okay. You want to get it crack-a-lacking. If those medical debts come back, we was getting those off way before that anyway, before that came in. So it's just going back to the old thing that it was. And medical debts with the HIPAA laws, they ain't supposed to be putting that you could shake that. You can shake that. That's all I'm just saying. But if they roll back some of that rollback, now is the time for y'all to get lending. That's why last time, when they saying releasing that, the bank gonna be lending, even mortgages and stuff like that. Don't miss it this time. Get prepared. Even when they're talking about a Department of Education, right? A lot of people with that, but look at the statistics on that. Look at they had schools, and I hate to pick on Chicago. I'm just going to use this. It was 40 schools in Chicago that none of the kids was reading the standard, not one, of math and reading. So if that was working so efficiently, how is that going on? Is it the teacher's fault? No, it's not the teacher's fault whatsoever. It is not the teacher's fault. What's going on? Because Diamond, you could talk about that when we were in Newark with working with the schools and doing, when you have charter schools, because you work with a charter school, you have charter schools, you got parents that's really concerned about the kid education. So that's why those kids do so much better. The parents have to apply to get them in there. The teachers in public schools have to deal with what's going on. They don't get to kick kids out. They have to deal with the children that parents are broken house on. Some of their parents are in jail and their grandma is struggling with this kid. And this kid might be in foster care, like with a foster parent. And that foster parent, with their good heart, is really trying to help this kid, but you got so many social issues. So they got to take everything. So I want to ask, there's a lot of Black women, even Black men, I know from Jersey, go into education. If they cut that, couldn't you do a better thing with the school and starting your own schools? A lot of y'all I talk to, you don't agree with the curriculum anyway. Can we set y'all up? Did you get a nonprofit and work with those that do grants? We need to empower y'all to create a curriculum that that works, because you actually work with the kids. The federal shouldn't be giving you just blanket guidelines. You know what these kids need. And should we, and even like with Black history, all we were taught in school, slavery, there's other facets where you can now do your own curriculum, and I'm just giving you ways to think about it. If these things are happening, I want you to be ready to go and think about it another way. Hold on. Can we work together? And can we do this here? Now, one of my responsibilities when I thought about that, how can I look at this to make it successful? The problem what was going on with what those teachers are dealing with is broken households. So this is why I'm talking to y'all now. I've been a single mom. So my heart goes out to single moms. So I want to give you tangible things that if you're in that situation, you're overworked, you're tired. It ain't so much you can do. But here's one of the suggestions saying develop your kids, teach them what you know. See if you can work with other moms. She'll tell you, Diamond, Miss Michelle, shout out to her, her friend Bria. We will work, some of us mothers, Miss Lisa or whatever, we will could commit a community, even Rachel, her friend Rachel's mom, we will get together as mothers to look out for the other ones. If somebody else have a work schedule, I'm picking the kids up for her, or they'll, reach out to me, like Miss Sherry, you have it, or Miss, and Diamond to tell you, I would walk through them parties. I'll let them know y'all not just getting dropped off there. Appoint a parent. I love that time dropping off. It was a lady in the park. She told me, she said she had an age gap with her kid and her son. And she told me, she said, be the cool mom. Take them everywhere because you can see what kid is doing what, and you can hear, as you're driving, have them to come to your house so you'll know who is who. So you can do this in shift in community. Have that mom that can pick up. My heart go out to the ladies. I love y'all. I know it's hard. And this is why I want to give y'all this. The men too, it's a lot of single fathers. My brother Larry was raising his kids all by himself. So it's a lot of dads, that's doing the best that they can. So we want to give you communities. And there was ladies that can fill in that go to your school. So work in a community. And also I want to help y'all with the financial part. And so that can make it easier. That's why my desire is there for that. And even for the teachers, we got to look at things. A lot of people blame them. Oh, why these kids ain't learning? Not that fault in a public school. They got to deal with everybody. If they had that same motivated parent that charter school had, they would have excellent things. But we got to look at, because both sides give talking points, right? And it's twisted to people advantage, like DEI. DEI didn't benefit Black people whatsoever. You were at the bottom. Scrap it. And then you got Republicans. It benefited everybody, but white men, it discriminated. White women was the number one recipient of DEI. So that money went right back in the house with the white man. Like, what are we talking about here? And then second on that list, Hispanic, then Asian, LGBTQ. With those contracts, Black businesses only got 1.6%. It wasn't helping you anyway. Affirmative action wasn't helping. Let's scrap the whole thing. If you're smart, don't boycott Target. Go in there and strictly buy all the Black owned businesses products and leave everything. That will make a bigger statement to Target that whatever you say, baby, it'll go. It'll go, because what you have is spending power. Unfortunately, we're the biggest consumers, but that can be power. That's why for Black History Month, what did Martin Luther King do? They boycotted the Birmingham bus because they almost broke them. It wasn't this little, I'm gonna be cute. No, they had to walk, and they did it for months, almost broke them. You know what I'm saying? Almost broke them. So your spending power, I suggest go in and just buy. If you don't want to support the rest of it, show that we support our own. You'll be like some other folk. You say something about them, child, everything gets shut down. Y'all know who I'm talking about. That community, I wish you would say something about them. They got Whoopi Goldberg snatched up. And her butt, they ain't even her name. She tried to adopt the name, the last name, snatched them dreads so quick. Like, where she at, gown? She ain't even say that. She misunderstood something. Got her up out of here. Okay, you going to sit down. Nick Cannon, time out, sit down. If you spend your money like that and whatever y'all say, you'll get a lot more done. But don't listen to like both sides got poison pills. That's what I'm just saying. So look at things on how it is and how you can capitalize off of that. You get, I hope everybody, I'm sorry, Diamond, because you know I will say too much, but I think I'm saying the right thing so we can come on, let's cut it out. Let's look at individual policies. Don't swallow the whole thing. Do not, because it's a point. If either side wholly work and was holistic, you wouldn't see imbalance on both sides. We can go to places that's all red, that people are dirt poor, and we can go to places that's all blue and people are been dirt poor on both sides. So we got something going on here. You know what I'm saying? We got something going on here on both sides. Everybody that's subscribed to that, what's the poison pill that's keeping you not even at the same, that you worse? Well, in Jim Crow, we have more wealth, and we're broker and set to be at zero. Wait, hold on. We gotta hope to something that's bad. Our condition was bad, but it's getting worse. And what y'all going to keep popping the pill? I'm going to keep doing it to work. You're going to be dead. That means no. What we got to do is look at what's the ingredient, right? And one of the ingredient that we left from Jim Crow was working together. That was the ingredient. The ingredient was supporting and having businesses. You were forced to make that dollar bounce around. You were forced to create services because you couldn't get it from over there. You couldn't get it from over there. And don't let nobody tell you, oh, folks want to do jobs. We got to bring in and oppress people. Like, oh, these people don't want to do the jobs you won't do. So we're going to make other people slaves. That's what you're saying? Like, you know, to treat them like slaves? Is that what we're saying? No. Listen, it's people that'll do the job here. Because a job is hard, don't mean people won't do the job. It's the pay got to be right. I don't know if y'all look at garbage sanitation workers. It's hard to lift that garbage can. But a lot of them, it's hard work. They're dealing with garbage. People want that job because it's good pay. They're unionized. I ain't never seen somebody that said, I won't be a garbage, because they're unionized and it's a high pay. So people will do jobs that are not glamorous if the pay equals the labor of the job. You see that with plumbers. Plumbers working poop and they get paid. Don't you let a plumber walk through your house. Shall you be broke? Because they're going to get paid for relative with the job that they're doing. So don't let nobody rock you to sleep neither, like with nonsense that don't add up. Yeah, there's tons of people that do the job, but what it is, corporations come out with all this social stuff like, oh, we're going to do this, because they don't want to give you things that they know that is a populist stand. Like for ladies that have babies, you know, paid leave for, you know, longer stints for maternity. Or they don't want to give you popular stuff like an increase in your living wage, like stuff. So they keep you on these social issues. That's the corporations.
Yeah.
Trying to teach y'all today. They're distracting you because they don't want you to push your politicians for things that benefit you in your life. And so both of them talking points like, what? That, oh, this labor cross seas and but y'all charging us the same price. And I'm gonna land on this. Look at college. Diamond, you can vouch for this. Isn't college actually for them to run cheaper? Because a lot of this stuff, they got one professor doing things now virtually. They got off. You ain't even touching the campus. It's a lot of people that's not living. So why is the tuition higher? Back in the day in the 80s, you can take, well, almost get a degree for $3,000. Explain to me, technology make things cheaper. Why is tuition getting higher?
Mm-hmm.
Because unlike medical debt, tax debt, you can go file for bankruptcy and get that off, but your Congress and your good government made it that student loan debt you can't shake. People say, well, why is this collection still, don't it supposed to fall off? No, it's going to go to you with you to that grave if you can't bankrupt that off. They tied that in. And so you saw college getting more expensive. What happened when you got FAFSA and all of that? I'm telling you, go track it. When the federal government start giving out that money for grants, because you know what? And Diamond will tell you, you sign that paperwork. They don't even tell you. We had to go with my daughter, and they did it to me. They did it to Diamond. Those counselors will purposely put you in the wrong thing. You tell them, sit down, and a lot of y'all it happened to you. You sit down and tell them, hey, I want to go for, computer programming. They would purposely put you in and waste a whole year of credits that didn't align. They're doing that on purpose because once they sign and get that student loan debt or get that grant money, you're just screwed. So that's what's going on. Some of this funding, why are student loans, why aren't they capping that money? Any other federal government, Medicaid, doctors can't charge you what you want. I'm a landlord. HUD, they have a cap on how much you can charge with somebody on Section 8. Why aren't they not capping these colleges that's putting your kids in slavery for the U.S. government? Because they're taking those accounts over, and that's the new slavery. So I'm just telling y'all, please, just see clear for some of this stuff. And I'll land there.
Yeah, that was good. That's nothing to add on to that. So,
but it's no lies told about that student loans. Mm-hmm. And so you just got to track what your kids are going for. If you can get your kids, don't let your kids just run out to these universities because they feel like it as a badge of honor. No, you'll be stuck with that debt. And don't put your kid like in that position. If they can go to school and stay at home with you, let them show responsibility. Not everybody can do that. Why would you put them on that campus? I know so many people, and these kids will be flunking, and they 18 years old. You $35,000 in debt, and you can't get their transcripts. They playing in your face, partying because they didn't even show any responsibility. Let them stay at home and go to community college.
Go to trade schools.
Yeah. Community college. And if they transfer over, they're going to get the same degree for not even a quarter of the cost.
Mm-hmm.
So stop doing that. So you don't get in debt behind these kids playing around, because a lot of them do play around. They get more serious when they get their butt at home because you're there. I'm just saying, I ain't in nobody's business, but I deal with it all the time. This is what we're dealing with on y'all credit reports. You signing for them, and then they go and play games. You know what I'm saying? And now, I'm 35,000 in the hole because you playing games won't give me your transcripts. I'm just telling you. And now these degrees, you guys, it is not getting the return on investment whatsoever. Technology, AI is taking over. So if your kid is not going, even engineers, lawyers is on the attack with LegalZoom, all of that. A lot of them are losing a lot of money. They're not needed as much. So if your kid is not being a doctor or something where that degree is really needed, I encourage you to talk with your kids to make a better choice, or if that's what they really desire, let them go to community college and let them prove it out to you. if they do well there, and then you can now, okay, you showed something to me, I'll put my name on the line. But a lot of these things are fading out really quickly. And so I just don't want to see y'all in a position, and what they're investing to get a job, going $100,000 in debt for a job that's paying $15 an hour, $18 an hour. That math ain't mathing. And they want you to make 50 grand a year. You got to have a master's degree. Bye. You could have invested in something, or like Diamond said, went to a trade school while you were in high school. Some of y'all high schools now have plans where they'll come out with their associate's degree.
Yes.
Sit down and see if that's in the schools. And I'll land there. Just think about that, y'all. Work with your families.
And if your kids are, just on the school topic, if your kids are in high school, start looking for, have them start doing write-ups and things like that for scholarships, because there are scholarships out there. I was fortunate enough that because I was a first time college student or whatever like that in high school, that I had the opportunity to be the first grad in my family, that I was able to get into a program, and they made us sit down and write out essays and write out these things to apply for scholarships. And there's a lot of scholarships out there, but the thing is, kids are too lazy to write an essay to apply for it, but they would get it if they just simply write a little essay or something like that. So look into those things so that they can have that funding to go to school. And if they don't have a scholarship, or if it's not going to be some type of voucher or something to help pay for financial aid, you got to look at whether or not it's worth it or not. And I don't put the blame on the kids, because you're a 17-year-old asking, being told that you need to make one of the most important decisions of your life right now, go get in a bunch of debt to figure out what you want to do with your life, when there's a lot of us 30, 40, 50 years old don't know what we want to do with our life. So to ask that of a 17-year-old is a lot. So like myself, I wanted to be a fashion designer. I wanted to go to FIT, and then when I realized, looked at all that cost, and was like, maybe not,
Yeah.
Or you realize I'm going to get, I think FIT is like $72,000 a year. You stay on campus and all that other stuff like that. To be a fashion designer, in the mind of a 17-year-old, that sounds good. But when you get into real life, that's not realistic. I had one of my little sister, her friends wanted to go to FIT as well, wanted to do fashion design. And when I looked at her designs, baby girl just wanted to do print on demand. And, she was going to sign over $72,000 a year in student loan debt to do a print on demand business. But you don't know what you don't know, So when I got into, I was like, Faith, that's my little sister. I was like, Faith, let me talk to her immediately. Tell her, do not sign for that, because that is not even, if you want to get in fashion, pull up that phone and start doing some TikToks on some fashion content. You'll get in fashion that way. Or you need to work at retail and work your way up like the rest of the people do. But to get that type of like degree and that money, and I've seen other people and just the most foolish degree, African American studies. And it's nice to know, but as a major, makes no sense to me, because what you're going to do is be a teacher, you know what I'm saying? And it just didn't make any sense. So it's just make sure that you know what degrees you're going to go into, what your kids are looking to do, and to be realistic with them, because a 17-year-old is just simply not realistic.
And let's be honest, you graduated 2015. How much have that path to become in fashion have changed?
Yep.
So technology is changing things so quickly that now you might have a white label in that fashion. They're not even paying. Beyonce is hustling candles. What the hell is going on here? It's hustling candles. They done figured out. Them Kim Kardashian people ain't even buying or influenced by them. You see all of them on YouTube. Like, hold on, ain't you on cable? Cable is dead. You got the White House now. Got social media influencers there, and you not there. The wave is over here. They pitching to get stuff cracking on YouTube. Think about that. And you don't think like, hey, maybe something going on here. So we're just opening your eyes to those opportunities. Technology, y'all. Even the music industry is not what it used to be. People now can get it cracking on their own. They don't have to get those 360 deals. They don't have to hit radio. And we're just talking about Diamond graduated in 2015. Remember when I came out of high school, 1998, everybody would tell you, go be a court stenographer. Court stenographer. Whoa, they gonna always have a job. Non-existent. Now the courts record that right in the courtroom.
Yep.
So I'm telling y'all, watch what your kids are going for. Watch what your kids are going for, because they might just be stuck with a bunch of student loan debt. So that's why we said, look in your household. If your kid know how to make money on time, let them do it now. Let them do it now. If they tell you, Mom, I can make money on TikTok, or Mom, Twitch, all the babies on the Twitch. On the Twitch, Lord, the consonants. Well, who else? I don't know them.
I don't know.
I don't know them children over there, but they getting money.
Yep.
Them children playing video games. Who the hell thought that playing video games gonna make you some money?
Yep.
They over there making money on Twitch. So your baby like, Mom, if something on Twitch, what is that? Stitch? Yeah. What grandma used to call it? Facebook.
What? Oh, the Facebook.
She used to put together MySpace and Facebook.
Yep.
Say, don't you put me on that Facebooks. That's how we be talking to Twitches.
Yep.
Who on Twitches? That ain't right. Something wrong with them.
You know what? This be a good time. I just want a shameless plug, but it just made me realize now that we're talking about it, I didn't think about this being helpful, but I did create a journal off of everything that we're talking about. And I basically created a journal off of the process that I went through to get here. And I believe in the power of writing and things being written down, even the scriptures being written down. And there's scientific studies about psychologically how writing on pen and paper really helps unlock something different in your mind. And the fact that these kids don't write anymore, they're typing all the time. So they're really missing out on something. But I have a journal. It's called From Ink to Income. And I just thought about, if you have a teenager, if you have a child going into college, and this is for grown folks as well, but I highly recommend that they get this journal, because it's going to make them sit down and really think deeply into their own skills and teach them how to start their own entrepreneurship, and tell them about the opportunities that are out there, that they can use their God-given skills to go ahead and make money for them and make provision for them. So I'm going to share that with you guys.
And that's a biblical principle. And what Amen, write the vision and make it plain, so him who read it can run with it. Yep. And this is why the banks want to see you have a business plan. Y'all need to write down your visions. Write it and even work it out and make it plain. And one last thing before we land, one of the requirements as y'all build your network over these 90 days, we want you every 2 weeks, every week if you can, do a mastermind. And that's for y'all to come together and bounce around ideas. Me and Diamond do this. We do this on a daily. I might tell her, hey, Diamond, I have this. This is what I see. I came with the Get It From the Mud because she inspired me. Hey, Mom, and I said, we need to do hashtag get it from the no more getting it from the mud challenge, because so she inspired me. I came up with something and I came back to her. This is what I got. I saw for this vision to make it work. This is how I'm seeing from my perspective. She got with Sadric and they done made a whole sign up and this, and this, and they got a whole nother thing that they got going on that's going to even build on it. So this is where we're telling you, mastermind with one another as y'all bring people on. If y'all can go, another thing, we don't want make money and don't make excuses, y'all. Excuses was the bricks that the house of failure was built upon. Do not make excuses. If you're saying, I don't have anybody to work with, you better go find somebody. Okay. Because you're hanging around the wrong circles. That's a you problem. We're not going to blame your friends because you're lined up. How can two walk together unless they agree? So if they all jacked up and your family all jacked up, it's something in you that's jacking up, because you need to fix what's in you so you can align with right people. Then you need to get on Facebook groups, and you need to be intentional by plugging yourself constantly in these spaces. Constantly in these spaces. Diamond, you know a lot about that. Diamond will go to a run club. Women, she just creating friends by showing up. And I'm like, how you done learn all these people? And they will show up for her. Do y'all know people that don't know you will show up for you than the folks you know from childhood?
Yep.
Do you know that? I'm just telling y'all. They did a party. I'm like, ain't gonna be nobody here. All these people, and they was some nice good. These was the best young people I ever met in my life. Cleaned up. I was like, these some nice friends. Met them at these groups. Met them at these groups. So when I'm telling you, you got to change your mindset. And
one thing I want to say too, one thing that I always say to myself, I'm like, that stuck with me that you said to me. You said, Diamond, if you want a friend, sometimes you got to show yourself friendly. And so that is a strategy that I've used. Like, I show up for people when they be like, you know, I have friends that's like a comedian. They do this, they do that. And when they say, hey, I'm having an event, can you come through? Even if I'm tired, I try to make sure at least that one time I do come through, because I'm like, if I come through for you, you'll come through for me one day. And that has worked, and they have. You know what I'm saying? Like, even I threw a last minute party for my cousin for his birthday, and it was on a Monday night. And I'm like, y'all want to come through, help me make my cousin's birthday good? And they all showed up. Like, and I was
and these are people she ain't grow up with.
I don't know for real.
Don't know. Like, she know them now, but she met them with those interactions. And like, where I tell her, that's what my brother deceased, he transitioned, used to tell me, Sherry, because I'll be complaining like, yeah, and they want me to do it. He said, Sherry, if you want a friend, sometimes you got to be a friend. And I like that. Larry would tell me that. Sherry, if you want a friend, sometimes you got to be a friend. And so that encouraged me to show up, because if you want a friend, you got to be a friend. The Bible says if you want a friend, you must first show yourself friendly. And sometimes y'all got to speak to people you don't know. I did have the resting face of leave me alone. You know, I come from Newark. To scare brother off, you go get up. You know, you went to school there sometimes, and we'll develop this as women.
Yeah.
Don't let them know. Don't even come over here. Hey girl. You walk faster, like you don't even know who they talking to. But you got to break that and learn how to sometimes just say good morning to people, or how are you, and stuff like that. And sometimes that open up conversation. So that's first showing yourself friendly. And I know in certain environments, we have to do this for our safety as women, but we do gotta be approachable too in certain environments. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking to myself. I had to learn to be approachable. So, you know, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. And what they say, you know, eat the meat and throw out the bones of anything that we're saying. But sometimes we have to, you know, recognize some of these things. And people tell you smiling more. It was people that told me, like, a men, and I had not to be offended, like, girl, you need to smile more. And I didn't smile a lot, because, you know, it just was dealing in business. Men will come at me the wrong way if you too smiley, you know what I'm saying? Or like, so these are things we just have to be aware of. So we'll just land our plane there. Diamond, thank you to everybody that joined us. The money makers, shout out to every one of you. I love you guys. I might not know you, but I love you guys. And thank y'all for listening to us. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, everyone that come in on my elite people. Miss Wilson is here. Thank you guys. And Diamond, I'm gonna let you close. Do you have anything?
Just that in the pinned link, if you guys are watching on YouTube, is a link to submit a form. So if you came in late, we are doing a anti getting it out the mud challenge, but what we're really doing is talking about collaboration and unification. And what we want you to do, this is a free challenge. We want you to fill out that form, let us know that you're in, and we want you to invite somebody. So if you got their email, drop their email in that form, and we're going to give them a nudge like, hey, so-and-so, your cousin invited you, and this is what we're going to do. You know what I'm saying? We're going to pull people in, pull them together so that we can improve. And something I say for my moneymakers that's here, we're looking to thrive and not just survive, and we need community to do that. So we're all here about community. All of our resources is going to be in the description if you're rewatching this or if you are watching the replay. And yeah, we thank you all for coming in. And
we want you to do, if y'all post any content about making money or anything past encouraging, can y'all please, we don't have to coin it. We just want to change a mindset. You know, hashtag no more getting it out the mud. Mm-hmm. Hashtag let's do a culture shift. No more getting it out the mud challenge. We want y'all to work in community. And so that's where we'll land on. So thank you guys. Be blessed. And thank you so much for clocking in. And Will, for all the people that catch this later, Diamond, send me that link and I'll add it to the post so that only in the chat, you know, when we close out, they might not can get the link. We'll add it for those that come in later so you can access that form.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Enjoy your weekend. Good night.